All right, so this is a quick training on setting up a first and second lien in Edge, Mortgage Edge. So, okay. So we got a purchase price of 835. So first thing here is you want to manually change this to 484,350. That'll be your base loan amount. And so like, but let's say you're doing 500,000 at with a second lien. LTV always has to be 80% or greater on the first lien. So like in the pricing actually, come on. So in this case, we're just going to set it right at 484,350 because that's going to be 484 40 40 484,350 divided by 835. LTV on the front lien is 58, so we're fine. But that always has to be 80% or greater. Cannot be less than that. So like if you were buying at, let's say we're doing 500,000, you would need to go to 400,000. So the first lien would not be 484. It's got to be 80% or greater. Okay. In this case, so we do that. You would price it in an optimal blue. We can show that in a second. Put that in there. Oh, make sure to always put one here. Property taxes, yeah. So probably having other. So again, this is 850, probably 175, I think. And then we don't have the. I'll do 2.27 for now. Nothing there. 3. Check that box. Okay, second lien, right? So you do check that box. Oops, not save. Next. Then this is where this comes into play, which is how do you figure out the second lien amount? Well, if he wants to do 10% down, 835 times 0.9 is 10% down, minus 484,350, 267,150. Okay. The first place we're always going to go is Frost Bank, then IBC, then we have a couple other backup ones like True West, Achieva, and Cadence. If I typically I'm always going to go Frost if they're putting 10% down or more. The only time we're going to really go with anybody else is if they're putting less than 10% down or there's something really weird on the loan. Because Frost is usually great to work with, but sometimes they can be a little bit stricter on certain things. The rate here on the second lien, Frost, we've got a loan amount of 267, so it's fall in this bucket. We've got an LTV greater than 80%, so the rate's going to be 4.86. But it also says you can take an extra 2.5 off if they open up an automatic account with them. So in this case, the rate on the second lien is going to be 4.86 minus 0.25, 4.61. Actually not bad at all. 4.61. It's going to be 360. Now, to your point, if we ever, like, all second liens are always going to be a 30-15, meaning that it's a 30-year amortization, it's a 15-year balloon. Okay. I really rather never run into issues where people are really worried about it as long as you just address it. Like, yeah, hey, just like in 15 years, you do have to pay it off, but just refinance it. Most of the time, people pay this off early. The second lien is like, throw extra money. If you're ever going to pay something off early, do this, or come back 15 years from now and just refinance the second lien out. But let's say someone's like really like, no. True West, they do a true 30-year amortization. So like that's our back. Like True West is good too. It's just Frost, like I know they always do a good job. True West is a little bit more like of a newer relationship, so I just don't trust them as much. Non-APR costs are going to be $500 for Frost. That's another reason they're better. IBC is around $800 and $900. Achieva is the most expensive. We only use them when we absolutely have to. But yeah, so I've got that kind of built in. So then what you do here, let's just check. Okay, so then right here, it's going to show a blended APR and a blended rate because it's blending both of them. So a lot of times I'll hit more info, reinvestment, and I show them, hey, 44 at 3.875, second at 4.61. So those are your rates, and I kind of explain it that way. And then your total payment together is both of these. Does that make sense? Any questions? Stop that.